Hi.
Hi,
Hi.
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 Michelle with the aspirational background.
I know. We need something, right?
Yes, actually, I really did.
Zoom doesn't give us a lot of choices, so I was like, I need something. Okay. And Brad is back. He'll be here.
Fantastic.
Yes. And so Pam, you're gonna take notes tonight? You're muted. Pam, you're muted. I think she doesn't hear us.
Pam, can you hear us?
Yeah, you're
You're
muted.
muted.
There we go.
There.
I'm not so
You were
scattered. I
talking and
should be,
talking.
I should be better at Zoom by now, but anyway. Okay.
One of my colleagues was like, "Oh, I'm going to give myself 6 year muteds this year." And I'm like, "This year, that might work for a week for me."
Oh, wow. I guess we're all here, although Elizabeth just went dark and Brad's dark. I know why Kate is. She's had a lot of meetings today. There, Elizabeth's back. Brad, are you joining us visually or not?
I'll see you. I just got home and my house is, I don't have a good place to meet, so I'm
Okay,
in a funny corner.
okay. Alrighty. All right, so you got the agenda and we have some minutes to review. I sent the December 1st. I think I took those. I don't know what happened with December 15th. I just looked at my calendar and realized, did we ever look at those? And then there was January 26th, which was also sent. So I don't know. Does anybody know what happened with the December 15th? I just realized that
I thought they
tonight.
were
Were they approved
Um,
at the January meeting?
I read
Yes.
through all this stuff. Wait a minute.
The January meeting says December minutes were approved, but it doesn't say what December
Oh,
minutes.
you're right. And I wasn't there, and I did take the ones for December 1st, so I did send those, but then I realized we had two in December. So, does anybody remember which
So
ones got
I
approved?
took the minutes of the second December meeting and
Mm-hmm.
circulated them when we approved those last week. I don't
Okay.
think that we've approved the ones that you just sent.
Yeah, probably not. Okay. Why don't we look at those then? We'll start with the December 1st.
I had one, oh, what's our order of procedure? Do we,
Oh, we're opening the meeting. We're going to start with the minutes. We're going to, if you have any changes that need to be made, and then we'll go to vote on after anybody makes their comments or changes.
similar to the January minutes, I thought it would be good for the October minutes to say October what? I think it's the 27th. We
Okay.
only had the one meeting in October, is that correct?
Yeah, December was just unusual. There was two. We didn't have one in November. It got pushed. It got canceled twice and moved to December 1st. That's why we had two in December.
So my suggestion is to make item 2 minutes for October 27.
Okay. Any other comments or changes needed? No? Okay. Is there anyone that would like to make a motion to accept them with that change?
I move to accept the minutes as lightly amended.
Okay. Anybody want to second that?
I'll second.
Okay. We'll do a roll call then. Pam
Yes.
and Elizabeth,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Michelle. Yes. Okay, approved. And now we have the January 26th meeting minutes. I can't vote on them since I wasn't there, but they looked good to me as
I have
is, but
one set of corrections,
okay.
which is my last name changed.
Oh yeah, you're Brad Turner.
And I am throughout. It's very consistent. It's very good,
Oh,
consistent.
okay. Okay, you're right.
So and and then snow removal.
Mm,
The fourth bullet item.
yeah.
It's a funny statement. I thought should be reworked to say it is not practical or reasonable for library staff. I mean, it starts by saying if this continues, we'll have to have staff do it, but we can't have staff do it because it's not practical or reasonable.
You're
So it's
right.
just going to say it's not practical or reasonable for library staff to do the snow removal.
Okay. Anybody else want to? Does that sound good to everyone else? It makes sense to me. Is there anything else with those minutes that anyone noticed?
I'd like to move that we approve the minutes as amended. This is the January 26th minutes.
Mm-hmm.
As amended.
Yep. Anybody else want to second that?
I'll second.
Okay. We'll do a roll call then. Pam,
Yes.
Elizabeth,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Michelle. Oh, I can't vote. Sorry, I wasn't there. Okay. I can make those changes and just send it to Mel. Because I'll need to send the December ones and she can send them both in to the town clerk. Okie dokie. Now we have a quick director's report because we have a lot of policies to cover tonight. You ready, Marianne?
Um, so a quick director's report. Stuff is going well. We're still working through the punch list. Um, let's see. So this morning, the subcontractor who did all of the interior glazing That's all the windows and doors, the glass windows and doors inside. Their name is Lazat. So this morning at 8 a.m. they came and they removed three of the doors because they had to take them to their shop to replace the hardware. Um, and that's been an ongoing conversation, the hardware on those doors, so that they match the locking mechanisms in other places.
So you can just have one key, set of keys. Is that the idea?
Right, right.
Okay.
So anyway, and then you have to be able to, from inside a room for ADA compliance, you have to be able to unlock a door and open the handle in a single motion. Um, so they had in the teen room and the staff workroom, and I think even the director's office, to unlock the door from the inside, you had to do a thumb turn lever and then move a handle, and that's two motions, and it has to be
Mm,
just one motion. So they have figured that out,
okay.
and they picked those up today. Um, there are a few lighting issues. So all the lighting is centrally controlled, and there are a few lighting issues. A lighting vendor um, the controls vendor came last week and did some updates. And then we really went through and identified all of the issues. Some of the issues were fixed while they were there, and some weren't. So the electrician is coming back this Thursday at 7 a.m. to do
Hmm.
more work on lighting, and then there'll be more work that needs to be done. So we continue to work through the punch list. And then as we use the building, we are discovering things and then reporting them right away. But, not a lot of things. Things are in really good shape.
Good.
Um, and people are still coming and enjoying every bit of the library today. When we were open from 11 to 1, there were people using the small study and then people meeting in the meeting room. They just wanted a place to meet, so they went in there because the small study was being used. And um, there was a steady flow of people coming to browse and check out items and see the new space. And then today, so Aaron Saunders, our state representative,
Hmm.
holds monthly office hours in Shutesbury. When he started, they were at the old library, but then he needed to do it at a time that didn't work in the old library, so he moved them to town hall. And then he moved back to the library starting today. So he's going to be doing monthly office hours on Monday at 1 o'clock, the second Monday of the month at 1 o'clock in the new library. Um, so that was nice, and it was nice to see just a few people. I'm trying to think, one, two, three, four people that I can think of came in and met with him. Um, so that's good. Um, and and things are good. There were three teens hanging out in the teen room this afternoon. They're thrilled to be there. And their parents are thrilled that they're there. So that's really nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, that's so great. Yeah, sometimes the punch list can take a while, so that's good
Yeah.
that it's moving
Yeah.
along. Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
figure that's probably why you had such a long day because all those contractors like start so
Yes.
early.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they really want to get there at 7 a.m. And I just try to hold them out till 8 a.m. if I can, or even 9 a.m.
Hmm.
But I wanted those doors moved before we were open. So that's why I did 8 a.m. and then
Hmm.
they come back. Hopefully they can come back on Wednesday I mean Thursday when the electrician is there
Hmm.
um, in the morning. But we'll see.
Then they just have to change the locking mechanism and the keys. Is that the idea?
So the keys will stay the same. They're putting a whole new handle and locking mechanism on all three of those doors. The
Okay.
staff work room, the teen room, and the director's office. Um, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool. Well, are we ready to dive into some of the policies then? So you have the patron behavior one first. I didn't
Sure.
get a chance to look at the what you changed, but
for the patron behavior. Well, the patron
Yeah,
behavior is
I
all
read it this
new.
morning, so I didn't
Okay,
see your
all
changes.
right. I
But I
didn't
had
make any
I had some
changes
comments
to
and
that.
anyway,
Okay. Should I share it?
sure.
Okay. Oh, um, all right, I pulled it up, but now I don't see it, so I'm gonna try pulling it up again. Um,
So if we want to make some changes on it at all, are you going to be able to do that, or should someone else
yeah, I
do
can
it?
do that.
Okay, okay. Well,
But let me just share it. Let
sure.
me try sharing it. I don't know why it didn't show up. There it is. Um, share. Okay, so there it is. Um, and I'm gonna make this smaller. Can everyone see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Can we
So,
just go by page? Can you make
yep.
it a tad bigger? Like, I don't know, get rid of the top or something? I don't know if that's
Um,
possible.
Control plus, Marianne.
yeah, let's see. Did that change anything on your side? It didn't change anything on my side. Oh, there we
There
go.
you go. Good. Great.
Okay. All righty. So here's one thing that I've noticed. On every policy, the heading is different. And so I thought one thing we could do is just come up with a uniform heading for the different policies. Um, and um, and so we could start with this one and just say that each policy will say Shutesbury Public Library and then the name of the policy.
Hmm.
Um, or we could do something different.
Well, the only difference is the old one. I mean, that one had the address,
Right,
and
right,
one of them had the MN Spear Library policy.
right. Right. So should we just like start with this one and then as we create policies and edit policies, we we do this, we put the name of the library and then the name of the policy.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
okay.
fine with me.
All
I
righty.
don't think we need
In
the address.
in this header, you also have draft, which
Right.
is
And I'll take
great.
that out when it's not a draft.
But I was gonna suggest that it either say draft when it is, or you have the date it's approved,
Okay.
just to make that really easy to see.
Okay. 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 So I can do this. I can do date approved
Yeah.
and then we
Most
can,
of them I've seen have been at the end, but it doesn't really matter as long as we're
right.
consistent.
Yeah,
Right.
either way.
Okay. All righty. All right.
All right. Well, I have a comment
Okay.
about just the label behavior policy. I looked at other ones, and so the Jones is called the patron behavior policy, Wendell's called the library appropriate use policy, and Hadley's called the patron conduct policy. And so there's something about just calling it behavior policy that just rubs me wrong. Maybe it's all my years of working in public school. I don't know how Pam feels about that.
Yes, I do.
Did you feel the same way? Okay.
Yes,
So I just thought if we could think of something else, Wendell's calling it the library appropriate use policy.
I
But
like that.
but there are there's things
But
that you can't do, but also there's things that people can do. So I don't know. That was just my only comment. Anybody else have any comments about that?
I'm trying to think of what else we could do except call it the behavior policy.
Well, Hadley is called the patron conduct policy, and Wendell's the library appropriate use policy. It's really similar in the content
Conduct
part.
make conduct is more clear than appropriate use.
Hmm.
That's a broader, seems to me to be a broader
Yeah,
heading.
it kind of is, but it covered a lot of the same kind of things. That's why I wrote those three
Sure.
down.
That's just what they
How about this? How about library user conduct policy?
I had a question about that actually, because what I liked is that it isn't just patrons, right? You've got patron
That's
staffs
right.
and volunteers
Yes.
who, and I suppose they're all users, strictly speaking, but that's not usually what we mean. So
Right.
I think maybe just library conduct policy
Yeah,
is okay.
that's a good point, Kate, because someone might not use the library heavily, but might come to a program and so you still have the same behavior expectations.
Right, and I like that there was that everyone who, whether they're staff or volunteers or patrons, were expected to adhere to basic standards, right?
Right, right. Yes, I liked that too. So do we all agree on that part? Library conduct policy?
Sounds fine.
Sounds great.
Okay. All right, let's go to the next page then. Um,
Anything under general expectations?
oh, yeah. No, I'm good with that.
Anybody else?
Um, I'm sure this is standard, comply with reasonable requests from library staff. But I just want to flag that um, there needs there's a lot of wiggle room in what people consider reasonable. And I mean, I guess as long as there's recourse to probably the trustees where there's differences of opinion over what's reasonable. But I just want to note that.
One of the libraries said something comparable, but I don't remember which one it was of the three or four that I looked at. Interestingly, Leverett didn't even have a conduct policy, which I thought was interesting.
I don't think it should be what I said is a barrier. I just am sort of taking note.
Anyone else have any other thoughts about that? I
Could
wondered about that as
have
well, but then you don't
comply
want to be
with,
too specific. Go ahead, Elizabeth. Go ahead.
could we just say comply with requests from library staff? And
Yeah,
that they'll be reasonable?
yeah.
Comply with requests. Does that sound good
Because
to
if the
Elizabeth?
staff are the ones who are determining whether the behavior is appropriate, and you might want to switch that for conduct there, where it says behavior interferes, maybe conduct, then it's up to
Oh,
staff to decide what's reasonable. You've already sort of said so.
so last sentence, library will determine when behavior interferes with conduct.
No,
When
when
conduct
conduct
interferes with the
interferes.
appropriate
Oh, when
use.
conduct. Oh, I see. Conduct, sorry. Yeah, it didn't make sense at the other end. Okay. Interferes with the appropriate use of the library. Okay, is everybody good with that one?
Yes.
Good change? Okay. Anything else on this page or should we move on?
How about
Okay.
prohibited? So should it be prohibited conduct instead of prohibited behaviors?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
so
it's good to be consistent.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So this is where, like on the second page, Marianne, there were some things that I felt like could go in the back, like the children and caregivers. I felt like you want to have say all the things are not allowed, but you also want to say the expectations for things like around children and the caregivers and the internet technology use, and maybe even animals. It felt like they didn't belong with all the things that you can't do. I don't know if anybody else had that thought.
I, when I opened it up, I realized I could edit. And so the yellow highlighting at the top is me. And
Okay.
I did that because if you back up a little bit, it says prohibited conduct and then go forward. Not all of these items are prohibited. Uh, the
Yeah,
disruptive or unsafe behavior is, the next section is not. So I
right.
think it needs to be reorganized so that you have only the items that are not permitted
That
in
was what
that
I was trying to
list
point out,
and
Brad.
everything
Maybe I
else
wasn't as,
separated out into
yeah,
something.
maybe I wasn't as clear as you, but that was what I was trying to point out because the children and caregivers, the animals, and the technology use all felt like it belonged together somewhere else about what you can do, but these are just the guidelines.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
that's right.
so children and caregivers.
I would put it near the end and put the things that you can do with these are the guidelines or something positive
Um,
because they felt like it. You're not saying as many like these are not allowed, but children can come, but these are the guidelines.
right.
Or maybe they go up to the guidelines above.
Yeah, or you have the positive things first and then
Didn't we have a
I don't know.
section before this that was guidelines?
Well, it's a general expectations.
Oh,
How about general guidelines?
Yeah, I mean that would make sense about the children and caregivers, the animals, and the technology use.
And then that should be the same size heading as prohibitive conduct.
Right, right. And then animals.
Yeah, because that isn't, it's just saying what the limitations are. It didn't feel like that those things are as negative as like, these are the things you can't do.
And then technology use. Oh, how about the solicitation and distribution? Those are, because
I
those are
don't know.
not, or
Yeah.
that seems like it's stuff that you can do under certain,
Yeah, that's
um,
true. I didn't think about that one, but you're right.
right. Okay, so I'm gonna move that up.
And it's always good to start with the positive first.
Right. Let's see. So children and caregivers. There we go. Animals.
I think you've copied, but not.
I know, I'll cut this one now. I have a phobia, um, for, um,
I understand.
for cutting because I'm afraid that it's
Yeah,
not going to work.
yeah.
I get
Okay.
it.
So I
I
did
totally get it.
animals and solicitation and distribution, right? So I can
Yes.
do both of those. Okay. And then there was, oh, technology.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Um, okay. And I've seen it done and I've even done it. I've even done the copy and pasting. Um, I mean the cut and pasting, but I just,
Usually what I do is I copy and move it up and then I cut the other one out.
Yeah.
right.
Out
Yeah.
of
Just to be
Yes.
fear of
safe. Yeah.
losing.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
It
Yeah. I
just
get it
gives
too.
me the
Yep.
EBGBs. Okay.
Yes.
So,
So
all
now that
right.
they're moved, do we want to take a look at those?
Yes, yes. Let me go back up there. Okay. Um, all
So
right.
the general
Okay, and then
guidelines
this
need
we
to
want
be,
to make,
Do you need
um,
it
let's
at
see.
all?
I
General
think,
guidelines?
do we
Yeah,
Because
need
I
it's
this?
don't think it's necessary.
All right.
these are all subsets of
Okay. Okay.
expectations, right?
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Makes it easier.
Okay. All right. So then children and caregivers. Okay. Okay. Okay.
I didn't have any problem with anything that was in there because we're going to have more detail about unattended child policy. You know, one thing that I saw, I went back to look at for it and I couldn't find it, but I think it said something like maybe it was Wendell. They don't have a teen room. Someone who has a teen room said something about, just reminding people that what the age range that's appropriate for using that room and adults can use it if they want to check something out from there, but I don't know where it was.
Yeah, so there's actually a lot of literature about adults in teen rooms, and the
Mm-hmm.
general consensus is that um, you can't limit who can use library spaces,
Mm-hmm.
because because library spaces are accessible to everyone. I'll try and send, there was just a recent
Okay, well, maybe
conversation
that
in
was
one
the
of the
data.
listservs about this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe it was a dated
Okay.
policy, but it was
Yes.
sort of from a nice, friendly way, like this is space is meant for this age range, and
Right.
so the kids will feel comfortable. But
Right. Yes. Yeah. I mean, the good thing about our teen room is it is right across from the circulation desk.
yeah, it's true.
Um, so,
Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Anybody
So,
have any comment about the children's section and caregivers section?
no.
Okay, how about animals? No?
I did wonder whether, so do you say grounds instead of property elsewhere?
Yeah.
I'm
okay.
this is what I'm wondering about. Like, is your intent that you can't like tie your dog to a tree, dash into the library and go back out again
Right.
if you're walking your dog?
Right.
Okay, then you might want to say grounds.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know, but it just
That's a good point, and maybe we should just have somebody fact check it like Brad's so good at that. Just for consistency's sake.
Any
Okay.
section,
That means you can't tie up your horse either if you rode your horse there.
there's an extra space between the two bullets in the solicitation section.
Right, right, there is.
Oh, but this is, I'm not as good at Google Docs. Um,
I know what you mean. I have the same problem sometimes getting things to line up right with the dots.
there we go. How's that, Brad?
Oh, down
Like,
further.
Yeah,
Under,
The
soliciting.
next
under
section.
solicitation and distribution. Yeah,
Yeah.
there
There you
you go.
There
go.
you go.
Yeah.
And then if we're gonna like look for nits to pick, I think either the bullets are end in periods or they don't.
Right.
Right now, it's inconsistent.
And also there's a space between some bullets and not spaces between others,
Right,
which I think should be
right,
consistent too.
right. Yeah.
A lot of
So
them are
like,
sentences, so they should have a period.
I think most of them are sentences.
Yeah.
That
I,
might
I,
not be true when we get to
mhm,
prohibited activities.
right. But
so
when
here's
it's
what I'll do. If we could just sort of do the words and then
Uh-huh.
I can transfer it into a Word doc and do
okay.
Yeah.
the formatting and it'll be
Okay.
much easier if that's okay with everybody.
Sure.
Yes,
Okay.
save a lot of
All
time.
right.
Yes.
Okay.
Good. Okay. And
Yeah.
then the last section is technology. That looks pretty straightforward. Any comments about that, or should we move on to the prohibited behavior?
I have
We
a
just have to have
question.
an internet.
Go ahead, Kate.
Um, I mean, I'm just wondering about whether there's any restrictions on how people can use their own devices in the library.
Well, if they're using their own device in the library, they're connected to the Wi-Fi. So, um, so they
Hmm.
have to use the Wi-Fi in accordance with the policy.
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily, right? I just, I don't know. I'm dealing with a whole bunch of weird internet stuff right now that's making me really cautious, but like, you shouldn't be able to, for example, have child sexual abuse material on your own computer, use it at the library where other people might see it. And
Right.
that's the kind of thing I'm talking about.
Well, and
Make,
so that is a legal activity.
okay,
And
then
in
we're good.
our internet use policy and in
Yeah.
our patron conduct, in our conduct
Yeah.
policy, right? So,
Yeah. Good
so
enough.
yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Did we update our internet use policy or not? Or is this the old one?
Nope, that's the brand new one.
Okay. I can't remember. There's so many. We've been doing so many. Okay. Is everyone okay with that then?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to prohibited behavior, conduct, or we're going to say conduct, sorry.
Right. Okay. All right. So the following conduct is conduct's a word?
If you just say conduct is,
Right,
Okay.
is not permitted. Here's a statement that Wendell had that I kind of liked. Can I just read it? For the safety and comfort of library visitors, volunteers, and staff, and for the protection of library property, the following actions and conduct are not allowed on library property. So it was encompassing everyone, the workers, the visitors, the volunteers, the patrons.
I think that there's two pieces to that. One is just the purpose of the policy, right? And you've
Mhm.
said it's for safety and enjoyment. But we've already got language at the top of this policy that makes it clear that it's for everyone. It says patrons, staff, and volunteers right at the top.
Hmm.
So it is already, I think, inclusive.
Oh, okay. Well, it says patrons and staff. Ours says patrons and staff. I don't see for the amend to protect the rights of library users. I see. Okay. All right, then we don't need to be redundant. You're right. Okay, never mind.
This section, when we get to disruptive,
Mm-hmm.
is not complete sentences.
Right.
Here's where I think you might want behavior instead of conduct.
So you want me to change it back to behavior?
I think you might, because like all of these things together are kinds of
Mhm.
conduct, but these are specific behaviors,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
in my mind, anyway.
Yeah, it makes sense. The only question I had was the second one. Harassment, intimidation, threats, or unwanted physical or verbal interaction. I get the unwanted physical, but what about the verbal interaction? It seemed a little too broad to me.
Oh, so can we just imagine like I'm sitting reading my book and someone decides that they want to come talk to me and I would say, thank you, but I'm reading my book and go back to it and they keep asking to talk to me. I think that's an unwanted verbal interaction and it would be fine for me to go to a library staff member and say, I'm experiencing unwanted verbal interaction. Can you help?
Mhm.
That's what I think it means.
I guess what were you thinking, Marianne, when you wrote it?
I think just that.
Just that?
Yeah, or if somebody um is uh sort of perseverating on a topic, like if somebody is asking a question and the question is answered and don't, they aren't satisfied with the answer, so they keep going, and then at some point you just have to say, okay, that's um I've answered your question. I can see that this conversation isn't going anywhere. I think we should let it go for now. And, that would be and if they refuse to
Drop it.
respect a request to, discontinue the conversation, that would be an unwanted verbal
Mm.
interaction.
Yeah.
Somebody swearing at somebody or talking to them in a
Yep.
raised voice.
That's true. Okay. All right. Anybody else have a comment about any of the other items there?
Nope.
I've had to deal with issues like this, and the difficulty of dealing with them is the person who is doing some kind of disruptive behavior, as seen by the recipient of the disruptive behavior, often doesn't recognize or acknowledge the problem of their behavior. And I think this is written well. For me, it's when somebody else doesn't like what they're being subjected to, that's what we're looking at. We're not looking at whether the person subjecting them to that behavior feel it's appropriate or not. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this covers that, so I think we're fine.
I also think it's a very tricky one.
It is a very tricky line.
Yeah. Any other comments about the rest? Can you scroll it so you can see the rest of them, Marianne? Yeah. Does that look
I
okay?
had
I'm
a
not sure.
suggestion about hate speech, which is that we might link to the American Library Association's definition.
Um,
Um,
is hate speech listed? There it is. So, okay, so ALA has a definition.
yeah, Marianne, I'm gonna, um, yeah,
Are you
I
gonna put it
can't,
in, or should I just leave a
I
note?
don't think I can. I don't seem to have edit,
Okay. Um,
but
That makes
I,
sense.
I can throw it in an email for you. How about that?
Okay,
I'll do that right now.
okay.
That makes sense. Then it seems like, well, it's not just Mary Ann's opinion, but here's a definition of what it is. Any other comments?
And so should I say hate speech as defined by the American Library Association, or just have hate speech hyperlinked?
Good question.
Depends on
Oh.
whether we agree with the ALA definition, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me
Can
to
I,
share it?
yeah, can I share my screen,
Yeah,
Marianne?
so here I'll stop my share. Okay, and then you can share.
I think you have to allow me to.
Let's see. Um, there we go. You should be able to
Thank
share
you.
now.
Doo-doo-doo. Can you see that, y'all? Hate speech, hate crime.
Nope.
Oh,
There
here
we
we go.
go. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's good to expel it out and say what it is.
I have to agree, rather than putting a link in there, just spell it out
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
clearly.
And then it's pretty clear what it is.
Yep.
The part that bothers me, this again is the given my experience of dealing with people who exceed what we want them to do. I'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Here it is defined as expression through which speakers intend to vilify. And that is such a subjective thing. Um, I, in my working through issues, I ended up looking at what the person receiving that felt, not what the person giving it felt. Um,
Yeah,
I
I
had
hear
too many
you.
instances of them claiming I didn't intend any of that.
Right. I
Well,
hear
it's
you.
always that way, I think.
Yeah.
But if someone doesn't feel comfortable there because of the way someone has spoken to them.
Then that is covered under unwanted verbal interaction, which
Yes.
is,
Okay.
I think, different from hate speech,
Okay.
which has a legal definition and which
Okay.
has the intent is part of that legal definition, right? If you want to charge someone with hate speech, you have to show intent,
Okay.
just
Mm-hmm.
like murder.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think we need to, if we're going to use that phrase, I think we need to define it for people so they know what it is.
I think that's right. I mean, I think a lot of people are familiar with what discrimination is because lots of us have to sign, things or that we won't participate in that. But hate speech is, that's why I thought maybe looking it up would be helpful.
I agree. I think it does make sense to put it there.
So, any objection to including the full definition of hate speech and then saying hate speech and discriminations prohibited?
Can we put it as a footnote?
Works for me.
And how would you do that, Brad? What do you have in mind?
What I would, in the document, I would say see definition below or something.
Okay.
But the full definition to me would take away from, it focuses too much on one element. It gives a lot
Yeah,
of detail about one element.
So
that's right.
how about a star and then at the end of the
Yes.
document, there's a star um
Perfect.
with the
Yeah.
definition.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is it okay for me to stop sharing now?
Yeah.
sure.
I
Thank
think it
you.
would also be good to, so we're going to quote the whole thing. but say who we quoted it from.
Oh, for
Mhm.
sure. We should give
Okay.
Yes.
the link to the ALA and the date retrieved in case they edit it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that makes sense.
Okay.
Anything
All right.
else under the disruptive or unsafe behavior section?
I'll share it again. Um, okay, and then I'll go back to um, okay. Um, so there's the
Mm-hmm.
star, and then I'll put the definition at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Great, sounds good.
Okay.
All right, what was the next section then? Use of library property and facilities?
Is this misuse of library property and facilities? I just wondered if that was the header that we.
Well, we
that's-
already said this list is prohibited.
Yeah,
So, well, I guess above we say disruptive. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
think
makes
you're right,
sense,
Kate.
misuse. Yeah, that makes sense. But what you have listed looks fine to me. Does anybody else have any comments?
I think it's fine.
Looks fine.
Okay, Elizabeth? You're good? Okay.
The
Um,
the next section is mixed. It's both allowed and prohibited. Maybe food, drink, and tobacco needs to be part of the section above or split
mhm.
too.
I think and drink belong in one, and tobacco belongs in prohibited,
Right.
Well,
so that you have two different categories.
library building and grounds are tobacco free. That's a positive statement, not a prohibited statement.
Mm-hmm.
Smoking, vaping, and cigarettes are prohibited. You could say that the library building and grounds being tobacco free is unnecessary because you've prohibited it in
Smoking,
the next line.
vaping, and e-cigarettes. I don't have a strong feeling about that at all. But I agree, the food and the beverages could go up above.
So we could just have smoking, vaping, and e-cigarettes are prohibited and get rid of the library building and
Or how
ground.
about this?
Okay.
How about if you make it one line, uh, semicolon at the end of smoke free and
Makes
keep
sense.
going?
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
that's good.
And it's totally clear.
And then we have to move the stuff you've copied up before we lose it.
I
Right.
already moved it up. Um, the food,
Yeah.
The food.
yeah, so we can go back up to the food and
Oh, yeah.
then,
Okay.
okay, okay.
Great.
You've already done that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
And we have solicitation and distribution that got moved up already.
Yeah, that got
Right.
moved
That's
up.
good.
Yes,
Okay.
we went
Now we're
through.
at a illegal or dangerous
Yeah,
activity.
okay.
Can I ask a pedantic question? What's an undangerous weapon?
So should we just take the word dangerous out?
I don't know. I mean, many things can be considered a weapon if somebody came in with
Right.
a big pole or a baseball bat or, but yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I think a weapon is something that has a primary use for harm, right? Where a baseball bat is supposed to be used to hit a baseball. This is pedantic and it might just be fine, but like if somebody comes in and they've got, I don't know, a really sharp knife that just, they keep on their belt loop. I know people who
If
do stuff like that. Do you want that in the library or not? And if you don't, then maybe we want to just say, guns and knives are not allowed. And, or you run a risk whenever you get specific, right? That there's behaviors that you want to prohibit, but you
Don't
you
fall into that.
can't because you've been too specific, and then you need like basically the Ninth Amendment or whatever it is, right?
do- does the carrying of dangerous weapons of whatever it is we're intending here, is that does it violate local, state, or federal law? If not, if it does violate law, then we don't need to say it because we say behavior that violates it. And if it doesn't, we might not be able to enforce it anyway.
I mean, if you have a license to carry, can you still go into a library with a,
You can in some states.
Yeah, I don't know about this state. I have no idea. But I was thinking about the knife that you were talking about, Kate. I was at a meeting in another town where somebody did walk in with a big knife on his belt, and people were feeling really uncomfortable because, well, most people didn't know this person. So, um,
yeah,
yeah. But
yeah.
the person was a farmer and they just always have it on their belt because they sometimes need it. But what's this? Oh,
Hmm.
this is in Massachusetts?
Yes.
And what
So,
does it say?
so this is a town that allows guns in um, municipal buildings. Um,
Oh,
I
so
think
the
it has to be,
default is no, and you have to exempt town by
right.
town.
Yes. Yeah.
I sort of think it's beyond our authority.
That's what I was wondering if we should find out from the police department.
Well,
Where
I
did it
mean,
go?
I'm not sure that right now, you can't. You can't carry a gun into a
Public.
public building, even if you have a license to carry. Unless the town of Shutesbury votes to exempt itself from that law, that's the law as it stands, right? But yeah, I don't know either, but personally, I'm just curious about what we can do to enhance safety in the library.
Hmm. Right. Hmm. Can we just say weapons are not allowed on library property, which like you can't have weapons on school properties? Someone can challenge us on it, but we could put it in.
Yeah, and people say dangerous weapons. I'm sorry that I took us down this rabbit hole, but it's important to me, and I think it's really good as it is.
Hmm. Okay, let's leave it. Um, so what's the deal about gambling? I have no idea.
Well, gambling is illegal.
Okay, all
Um,
right. I
yeah,
just don't even know.
yeah.
Okay.
So, people shouldn't um do a Super Bowl betting pool at the library,
Oh yeah,
you
that's true.
know.
Yes.
That kind
Yeah,
of thing, yeah.
No
yeah,
March Madness bracket.
Right,
with like financial gain.
right.
Okay.
So then I think maybe the only thing I'd suggest is any other behavior that violates.
What if we said moved any behavior that violates local, state, federal law and put it as the first item?
I agree. That makes total sense.
And then we could say, including but not limited to
Mm-hmm.
carrying dangerous weapons, use, possession, sale of illegal drugs or alcohol, gambling.
Nice.
Very nice.
Well, why don't you put alcohol first because it's not illegal. So use possession or sale, use or possession of alcohol or sale of illegal drugs. Does that mean you can sell marijuana? Can you use marijuana outside? I don't know.
That was exactly the thought that I had because marijuana is legal,
Right, right.
right? So it's, yeah.
Th-
But
This
again,
does not
You
prohibit
can't vape or
marijuana.
smoke it.
That's true.
that's true.
That's true. So yeah, let's see. Uh,
You don't want people handing out candies either, though.
oh yeah. Use or possession of alcohol or sorry, of alcohol or use. Well, see, no one's going to sell alcohol, but you don't want people using alcohol because that's in one of our, where is that? It's in one of our policies.
It's
It's,
in the
yeah,
meeting
it's
It's
a,
room
about the meeting
also.
room.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
What about use, possession, or sale of illegal or legal drugs or alcohol? That covers the
Marijuana.
marijuana.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
Or just drugs or alcohol.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's
And
good.
Okay.
But in
Yeah.
that case,
Yeah.
I think somebody said this. In that case, we should move it above the any behavior that violates local, state, or federal law because it doesn't.
right.
Well, it depends.
Well,
I
it's
mean, like you
illegal to
can't sell
sell.
alcohol unless you have a license to do it. You can't sell
Right.
marijuana without a license to do it, as
It's
far as
not
Right.
I.
illegal to use
That's why I keep
Mm.
thinking
or possess
alcohol needs to go in
alcohol.
front of,
But it would be illegal to use alcohol or marijuana at the library.
Why?
Why? Because it's a public space that isn't a bar or place that you're allowed to
And
smoke marijuana.
and so there are public laws that say you are not allowed to use alcohol in a public building.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You're not allowed to use alcohol in any public place.
Okay, then I
Uh,
think this is fine. I
yeah,
take it
okay.
back.
In Massachusetts.
Okay.
You can't, you can be drinking alcohol in your yard, but you can't step onto the road in front of your house and be drinking alcohol legally.
Okay.
okay.
Interesting.
I'm glad I told you all that. So,
Okay, we won't be
So
stepping in the
good to
road.
know.
Keeping us out of the joint since
yeah.
2026.
So,
So are we good with this section?
Yes.
Okay, now we're moving to enforcement and consequences, I believe.
oh, there's more. Oh, let me take
Yeah.
the line out. Okay. Okay. Here, let me just take out some of these spaces, but I'll do the formatting. Okay. There we go. Okay.
It looks fine to me. Anyone else have any comments on that section?
No.
Involvement is claimed to be spelled wrong. I can't quite see it.
It says so it wants whatever program this wants it to be the involvement.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's the only reason. Okay. Yeah,
I think,
looks like it's spelled correctly, so.
I think it's fine the way it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyone else? No? Okay, how about the last part, questions, concerns, and appeals?
The only part that made me pause is that near the very end, will be reviewed by the library director or the board of library trustees as appropriate. This is under appeals.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not totally comfortable with the or maybe it's as appropriate. I'm not sure what that means. Who decides it's appropriate? What if we took out as appropriate and just left by the library director or the board of library trustees? We're what the statement is, we're jointly, either one of us can be responsible, the director or the trustees.
I agree, let's take out as appropriate.
And you can put and/or the Board of Library Trustees.
Yeah, because if you had a sticky issue, you might want to defer to us.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah, I agree. Let's put and or. Then it doesn't seem like we're superseding you
Right,
on your decision, but
right.
you can appeal to us if you said it's something you want help with.
right.
Okay, good point. Um, oh yeah, and questions or concerns, I just wanted to change about library behavior to patron behavior.
Uh, library user behavior.
Yeah, or something to indicate a
Yeah,
person. The library
okay,
doesn't have behavior.
right, okay, all righty, okay,
Yeah. At least we hope it doesn't.
okay.
Okay, good job. So now we have some more. What do we have time left for? It's almost 8:30 and we still haven't gotten to the child use unattended child policy. How urgent is that one? Is it? Do you think
That one's not as urgent. It was just one that I
Okay.
got done. So I think it's more important to go over the meeting room policy because if we do, then then I can, I can enact at least the small study room policy this week and then or by next week. We do have people coming in quite often using the small study room.
Uh-huh. So I just
So
have
do
a
you want
question.
to vote on this policy?
That's what I was just about to ask. I think we need to. I
Okay.
mean, you have a few changes to make. Are people comfortable with just voting on it as the changes were indicated?
Think the changes are
I
sort of
made them as we were.
formatting and
Yeah.
I
cosmetic.
just wanted to be sure.
Okay.
Okay, so would someone like to make a motion to accept the library conduct policy as amended?
I will, uh, I'm
It's
having trouble.
2026, Marianne.
Oh, it is all
Sorry
year.
about that.
I vote that we accept the amended changes to the library behavior policy,
Conduct.
conduct policy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, are you seconding that then, Brad?
I would
Okay,
second.
let's do roll call. So Pam,
Yes.
Elizabeth,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Michelle, yes. Great. Yay, got one down. Good job. That was a lot. That was a lot. Very thorough.
All right. Now I'll share the meeting room policy. If you want me to, do you want to do that next?
I can stay a few more minutes. I mean, we already went over
Yeah.
this, so is there something
I,
that we just needed
yeah,
to review?
I have,
I made some changes. It's not
Okay.
a lot of changes.
Okay.
But it is, do you see it now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Can you make it a
so,
little bigger?
yep. Um,
I
okay, and then we're gonna do Shutesbury Public Library Meeting Room. And then I'll put adopted by the trustees at the bottom. And I'm gonna, again, the formatting I'll do tomorrow.
okay,
Um, okay. Um, okay, and so the changes are in yellow, so I can scroll to them.
Can I have you, just
Meeting.
because I had done something out of sequence, I
Okay,
edited one thing. It's down near the bottom, cancellations. It's really minor, so we could dispense with it quickly.
okay,
I thought early rather than soon.
that's fine with me.
Yes, that
That
makes
was it.
sense. Yes.
So then you can get rid of my edits.
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Alrighty. So let's go back to the top and just I'll start. Okay, so let's see. Um, okay, so um okay, so the 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. is just in the community meeting room. Um so I specified community meeting room.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see. Um let's see. And then I specified, so applications to use the meeting room, I specified the community meeting room. And I
Attendance.
changed it to 10 days in advance instead of 7 days in advance. Um,
Makes sense.
because
Give it a
that
little more
seemed
time.
more reasonable. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then okay, then Brad changed it to early. And then I added this whole section about the small
Okay.
study room
Okay.
reservations. Um, and um, and so it seems like 2 hours is a reasonable amount of time. Um, Reservations can be made up to 3 months in advance.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we do have teenagers, older teens that are meeting friends and then going in there to study. So I would like them to be able to do that without,
Mm-hmm.
um, that they could just reserve the room like anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then reservations to use that can be made simply by calling the library, emailing the library, or stopping by the library in person. And then if people don't show up for their meeting and don't let us know, then we'll cancel the reservation. That seems reasonable, um and that's pretty common practice in other libraries. And then if people fail to cancel more than 2 times within a 6-month period, it may result in a loss of study room privileges. That seems reasonable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does.
Okay. And
Marianne,
then
I had one thought before we
okay.
move on, real quick. So if you're using the study room without a reservation, I just felt like it should say, if there's no reservation, you can use the room, but you have to leave when the reservations,
Okay, so maybe that's,
unless you want it reservation only.
no, I don't. So we could do, so maybe we could do small study room and then we could do, um, uh, if the small study, um,
Would-
uh,
Shouldn't they
may,
check in with you to see if they show up and they want to use it?
right.
May request.
Okay. Um, 5 minutes before a reservation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then, okay.
Mm-hmm. Any comments about this, anybody?
And how will you track this, Marianne?
How will I track what?
The small study room.
So I'm gonna just have a calendar, um, a paper calendar with sort of full page things so we can block out the times. Um, um, that I think that'll be the easiest thing for library staff to manage.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Anybody else have any comments, questions about this part? Was that all that was left for this?
Let's see that, and then let's just look.
Library's behavior policy.
Okay, so it's the library conduct policy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay. Um,
Wasn't it patron conduct policy?
I'll
No, because
find
it's
out
not
what it's
just for patrons, it's for
right,
everyone.
right. I think we called it just library conduct policy.
okay.
And I'll go back and look and make
Okay.
sure that's right. So I'm going to leave that yellow to remind me to do it. And then, oh, and then, uh, Library Board of Trustees. I think it's the Board of Library Trustees.
Yes, I think we are called the library trustee.
Shutesbury Board of Library Trustees, insert approval date. So that'll be. Okay, and that was it.
Okay. Any questions before someone makes a motion to accept as changed? Somebody want to make a motion?
Yeah, I move that we approve the meeting room policy as amended.
I'll second that.
Okay. All right, we'll do roll call. Pam,
Yes,
Elizabeth,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Brad,
Yes.
Michelle, yes. Okay. So we'll do the unattended child policy next time. Anything
And
else that we have? need to do?
then there are a lot of policies that are policies that say Emmons Spear Memorial Library.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just try and look at one a month.
Okay.
And review it myself. I think, some of them probably need updating.
Mhm.
And then, even changing the names, I think is a good opportunity for all of you to do that as a board and because it is an amendment to the policy. So we should do one or two a month. And so next month we can do the unattended child and then I'll pick another one.
I
Okay,
think that makes total sense because so many of them were written when I was a new trustee, and that's a very long time ago.
right. And then we can, and then I can just make like in um the not in the conduct policy, it refers to a policy that has the part of the title is the Emmons Spear Memorial Library. So then I feel like I can just go and change that without
Mhm.
coming back to the trustees if it's just the name of the policy.
Mhm.
When
Yeah.
that happens. Okay.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Okay.
All right, we need to choose our next meeting date. So be in March sometime.
I have one more thing, and I don't know if
Okay,
this
go ahead.
is anything that makes sense, but I'm wondering if we're going to be reviewing more policies, if it might be time saving for Marianne to share it with us individually and give us privileges to make comments on the side, or you know what I mean, ahead of the meeting in order to make things move. I don't know if that would make things move along faster, but it might. I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I just printed it out and wrote my comments on paper, but yeah, we probably could have done the same kind of thing. Any thoughts?
Well, we can't
Not
do it
sure
on
about this.
one document,
Sorry.
'cause open meeting law.
Yeah,
Right.
What?
right,
Say that again.
We
right,
can't do it on one document because of open meeting law.
right,
But if you do
right.
it on your own document or you print it, then you can do
I
it.
see.
At the
Okay,
meeting.
well then forget that. I guess we just make our own notes, just like we have been doing. Okay.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, so we need to pick a date for the next meeting. Anybody have any constraints that don't work for them?
I do, but I don't know what they are. I
Okay.
know that I'm speaking in Europe on the 19th, and I don't know whether I'm going to stay longer or leave earlier yet, but I'll let you know as soon as I can. I think maybe we need to propose a date here, and then just do a quorum check to make sure.
I'm away that whole weekend myself. I'm gonna be in Lake Placid for the World Cup cross country finals.
Oh,
So I
wow.
won't be able to have time to look at anything. So on the 23rd. So I would say before or after would work for me.
So maybe just we propose
The 30th or the 16th?
yeah,
Available 16th.
You are or aren't?
I am not.
Okay, should we go with the 30th? Or does that feel
yeah,
too far away? It just depends how pressing Marianne's feeling about getting some of the policies in place.
Oh, no, I don't, I think we did the
Yeah,
biggest ones.
okay,
Um,
we'll do the
okay,
30th.
okay.
Does everybody agree?
yeah.
That's fine.
Okay, cool. Alrighty. Thank you, everyone. I'll close
Okay,
the meeting and see you around.
okay,
Good job,
great.
everyone. That was a lot
Okay.
tonight.
Okay, all
Good
right.
night.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
good night, everyone.
Right.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Okay.